All right, I had to just click start. We should be going live now. I This is a morning broadcast. The sun has already come up, and I basically delayed too long. I wanted to capture the sunrise, but the sun just came up over here. This is my front yard. It was dark enough; it was kind of blurry just a minute ago, anyway. So, but I've been putting these river rocks, excuse me, in my front yard, and I redid this thing I called the tree shelf over here. I guess I could tell you a little bit about that. But it's just a pipe and a flange and a hook and a piece of wood to hang from a tree, so you have a shelf, and you can just carry the thing off. That's something I don't know if any of you guys want a tree shelf. Let me know. I can at least tell you the parts I used to make it. It's pretty simple. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of that invention. I got a lot of patents, but I'm pretty proud of the tree shelf. It's pretty simple. I had one routed out with, you could put your drinks in there and all that. And it was interesting, but the wood, over time, the wood suffered from the elements. So this wood's a little stronger, and we'll see how long it lasts. I don't know. I probably need to seal it up with some wood treatment or something, but I'm having fun with it. I'm retired. My name is Pac Main. I stopped using my real name, but some people know me. I'm a game developer, former arcade game programmer, and I recently did get some traction with an online community, and it was a pretty positive experience, and it kind of nudged me in the area of getting back to creating games again. So I've been sitting around trying to figure out what do I want to do, and yesterday morning I was sitting in this car right here. I had just got back. I had no gas. I mean, it told me I had 0 miles left, and I was just rolling the dice to see if I could get over to the gas station and get some gas in the gas tank. And my dog is in. The reason we went to the car is because, my dog. Let me move this camera around. I got another place to talk that's a little better. Yeah, I've been, excuse me. Trial and error. This time's a little more error. My house, I apologize. How do I do this? I practiced, I had done this so much better so many times. Trying to live transition to a stand-up position. But yeah, man, what was I saying? So I drove over to try to get back to my story. I drove over to the gas station over here on Van Ness and Belmont Boulevard. All right, it's a new Johnny Quick gas station over there. And on the way over there, man, it says I have 0 miles left. So I'm just like accelerating as lightly as possible. There are lights turning red. I'm like, crap, I'm not going to make it to the gas station. It's literally like two or 3,000 feet away, less than maybe 1,500 feet away from my house is this gas station. But I'm genuinely worried. I've never gotten in and just noticed from nowhere. This guy's got a blueberry I gave him, and he's made a mark. He's made a mark on the carpet with this blueberry. How you doing, big boy? That's Buddy, by the way. And you want a treat? I'll give you a treat, dude. Show him. He's got this trick he does. He's pretty good. He can do 10 seconds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What a good boy. And he's getting pretty good at that. It's nice. He got it the first tick there. I won't give it to him unless he does 10 seconds, unless he fails like 4 or 5 times. I'm like, forget it. But like I like to do wheelies. That's my bike back there. So that's really the only dog trick I focus on with that guy. I just like to see him on his hind legs balancing because, I don't know, man, I do a lot of wheelies. So. And I'm not looking at my comments right now, but I will be in a minute. I appreciate you guys if you're there. I appreciate y'all staying there. And I try and get back to my story, but I was driving to the gas station, out of gas, and I get there. I don't have my wallet. So I'm like, this sucks. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, wait a minute. I think I got like a couple pennies or whatever. So I go into my center console and I find I had a Ziploc bag with change in it. And it was mostly like pennies and nickels and stuff. So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I had to take a bag of change into the Johnny Quick. And, you know, I don't know about you, but this is actually the nicest gas station in town. And I don't want to pay for gas with change in a Ziploc bag, but that's where I was. So I had to do that. So I'm walking in there trying to act all cool or whatever. Everybody else is like busy going to work, all professional looking. And so I go to the, I go and I'm waiting in line and at the counter. And the checkout person she's pretty cute. She looked like she's a local, you know what I mean? And she's got these long ass fingernails and everything. And so I was watching her while I was waiting in line, and she's being nice to everybody. I mean, just way over the top nice, especially for this neighborhood. I'm like, wow, you know, she seemed like she was really being conscientious and stuff. So. So when I went up to pay, I was like, hey, you know, can you put this on pump number 1? And she's like, yeah. And then as she's counting it out, you know, I'm like, you don't have to count it all out, man. You can just leave the smaller change. And she's like, no, it's all right. So she's all counting it out for me and everything. And it comes up to like $7 worth of change. So she counts. I think I had 3 or 4 ones, but it was a lot of change. And so I put my $7 into my car, and then I come back and I mean, I'm literally on empty, you know, like it's almost like my car is like a metaphor for life, right? And but I made it, you know. I made it to the gas station. I didn't have my fucking wallet. I still made it, you know what I mean? I was like, well, maybe this will work, you know, just like, let's try this, you know. And then by the time I came back, I was thinking about, dude, I really like that girl, man. Normally when I meet people in this neighborhood, I'm like, fuck you. You know what I mean? So it's not about like, hey, I'm trying to date her, but it was a pleasant experience. And the reason it matters is because I'm always thinking about the Susan Pinker TED thing, and I'll tell people about it all the time. But if you Google Susan Pinker TED, she talks about living to 100 years old and that little experience, you know, where you have an interaction with somebody in the real world, is pretty important. And so that's the context under which I was viewing this experience as something that's really important. So I had a good experience. I got home and I'm sitting in my car. So I'm sitting in my car. Now, trust and know, I got an energy drink in my hand and I'm vibing pretty good. I'm vibing pretty good right now. It's in the morning. This is the first thing in the morning. Okay. This is yesterday I'm talking about. Normally I would be live streaming because normally I live stream first thing in the morning. That's what I like to do. Because I see the sunrise. I'm like, damn, I gotta broadcast. Look at that sunrise. That's just my mentality. So here I'm at the ideal time of the day. Sun has just come up. I just got back from the gas station, putting every penny I got into my gas because I don't drive nowhere. You know, I really save a lot of money. So I'm feeling good and I'm vibing. And I start thinking about, what are you doing? I was thinking about, shouldn't I be live broadcasting right now? Because I just got banned off the place where I'm normally on. Normally I'm on live broadcasting all the time and usually in the same spot. That's just been that way for a year and a half. So if you don't know me, you didn't realize that. And if you're somebody that cares about me, you're just wondering where I disappeared to. Well, I disappeared to live broadcasting on the internet nonstop, pretty much. That's all I've been doing. So either you knew that or you didn't, but this is a moment I wasn't live broadcasting, wondering if I should be. You know, wondering where I'm going in life, that kind of thing. And it was a quiet moment. The air was not moving at all. It was a perfect temperature. The window's down. Dog's in the back of the car. The dog is relaxed enough he actually lays down, which hardly ever happens because my dog is a spaz every time he gets in the car. So he's laying down in the back of the car. And I'm chilling. I'm vibing. And I'm starting to think about, like, what the fuck am I going to do, man? Because I just got banned off this server full of a bunch of Gen Z people, let's just say. And these people look at me and they all uptight about ageism. And they're like, what are you doing in here? You're a pedo. And I got that over and over and over and over. It has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? It's just a prejudice of Gen Z that if you're old hanging out in a group of kids playing video games, you must be a pedophile. And it's a pretty hurtful accusation. And it really hits hard at me. And I've been getting this "you're a pedo" accusation, not just from Gen Z on the lo-fi, again, without any reason. They attack you they set you up and attack you as a pedo, And this isn't a suggestion. I have all the evidence. This is like what they do. They do that and more, by the way, Just sadistic shit that is going on, not just by kids, but by everybody on the internet. And not everybody knows this. Certainly in YouTube land, not everybody is aware of what has been going on for years on platforms like Periscope and Discord. Discord largely has been a gaming community, but now it has combined with the former Periscope community. And, I'm sure there's other communities that have dumped into Discord as Discord has added features, and it's technically capable of supporting those features, but the culture of all the people online live streaming and talking to each other and Zoom calling and whatever other kind of video conference and FaceTime and everything else that there's a lot of shit going down. Now, I just watched John Oliver's broadcast, and he really nailed a lot of stuff. His October 10th broadcast, if you want to go back and check, John Oliver's October 10th broadcast is worth checking out. And I'll leave a link to that broadcast in the description later if you're watching this non-live. But getting back to it, I'm in my car thinking about what do you want to do? I've been getting my ass kicked, not getting paid at all, trying to learn how to, engage the public on social media. Things like, how do you set up your microphone? How do you set up your camera? How clean does your house have to be before people stop bitching about it? Stuff like that. That's a joke, but I don't really care. But anyway, moving on. I'm in my car and I'm trying to think, what do I want to do, man? Should I be live streaming right? I don't have a boss. Nobody's telling me what to do. I'm asking myself, what do I want to do? I'm retired. I got enough money. I don't have to do anything. I just go crawl back in bed and watch TV if I wanted to, right? But I'm like, what do I want to do? And I just got approached by Facebook's internal recruiter saying, wouldn't you like to talk about working on the Facebook Oculus Quest game team? Probably just telling you that. They wouldn't hire me, but I already told them I don't want to work with you guys. And I have personal reasons why. It's not something I wish to broadcast in public, but I don't want to work over there. It's for personal reasons, not anything to do with the technology, just personalities. But there's other places too that just like, it's just for whatever reason I might not want to do it. But what might I want to do? And I had to think about it. And I actually thought there's an individual. Yeah. So I basically, now I don't want to give away exactly what it was I thought, but I genuinely thought what I wanted to do. And then 3 hours later, I got a message from somebody saying, hey, do you want to do this? And it was such a coincidence. And I'm not trying to draw conclusions on the coincidence, and I have to be careful walking around things like this or even speaking of them because, we're talking about superstition. This is irrational behavior, supernatural forces, that kind of stuff. So it's just weird, To me, I just say, well, it's weird, but I'm calling it out like the way it happened. And I want to document it for myself and try and remember the details surrounding exactly what happened, what led up to that thought. Because it was a pristine moment when I had that thought too. But I do a lot of research. So this is just along those lines. When weird stuff happens, I want to document it and say, what's up with that? See if I can remember what happened there. It was weird, bro. And it was weird. Had a weird moment yesterday. And I shared it with a couple of friends, some more of the details than what I shared here, maybe. I don't remember exactly what I said, but there's a lot of things I can't talk about because this is big stuff, man. This is big stuff to me. Doesn't mean it's big stuff to the rest of the world, but for me in my life, whoa, this is a big deal. And let me tell you, when when the Facebook recruiter seemed upset that I didn't respond to their email. You know, they're like, "Hey, you want a job?" And I'm like, you know, not responding. So it was Saturday, September 11th at 1 p.m. that the Facebook recruiter sent a mail saying, "Hey, did the email get lost in the shuffle?" I mean, it was really one of those kind of emotional emails. Here you are, September 11th. It happened to be like 20 years to the day when I got fired at Atari. I didn't leave Atari. I was fired by John Ray for pretty much non-performance. I wasn't doing anything over there in general. And I wasn't happy, you know, so it was the right thing for them to fire me, but, you know, they took away what I wanted to do and said, "You can't do that anymore. You got to do something you don't want to do." And I wasn't happy about that. So this is all kind of coming to pass, you know, 20 years after Atari, when I had the best job I ever had. And I guess, you know, people are thinking about me maybe a little bit more in that was probably the best job I had. So I was like, yeah, some people, the only reason they know me is because, you know, I was the lead programmer on a game, on a coin operated game. And I really like coin operated games. So, you know, part of what I was thinking was, I wonder if anybody's making a coin op game or not, man. But let me tell you some things I can tell you, I think, but I have had the opportunity to work with some coin op personalities. And I noticed on my YouTube lives, not just one, but there's been 3 or 4 different instances where I've seen some of my coin op folks are in tune with what's going on with me. Like, they're like, "Oh, it's 20." Maybe they're thinking, "Oh, it's 20 years after Rush 2049 went out, and you know, what's going on?" You know, and so that happened. You know, 20-year reunion. I think Pac-Man did that with a Miss Pac Galaga reunion and that. So I think it's kind of like there's multiple people out there thinking the same thing, pretty much. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But for the record, I don't know what's going on, but I did have a thought like, "Hey, man, this is what I'd like to do. If I could do anything I wanted, this is what I'd like to do," you know? And, you know, I got a VR patent, and that VR stuff comes up a lot. And it's like arcade games, you know? So who knows what's going on? But I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's 20 years since we released Rush 2049 Coin Op, and I can call that out. And I can say I was really proud. I got a lot of patents on that game. I learned how to work with vehicle physics really well with that game. Learned a lot about, you know, what makes those kind of games fun. You know, where the red herrings are, where the money is in terms of work on this is you're going to get a better return. And that's fun stuff to work on, man. You know, physics and 3D geometry in general. So it's like the only thing I'm still trying to figure out, and I haven't decided, is, you know, there's a lot of people coming to me about virtual reality. There's a lot more people coming to me about virtual reality than anything else. And people suggest to me, "Hey, man, you should get a Quest." I don't have a Quest, you know, or some other VR device. I've got VR patents. I don't have VR devices. So I don't really do VR. That's work stuff. But I don't know, man, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a intellectual property developer with respect to VR, but that doesn't mean I've actually put on a VR headset, which is kind of mind-bending. But I don't know, man. That's a whole nother conversation. I don't know if I can have that. One day it'd be nice to have that conversation, but that might be after the patent's expired, which is 20 years from patent date. I think I could talk about it. I could talk about patents that have expired. Like, I have a patent for the keypad on an arcade game. That's pretty cool. And I have a patent on Free Game Phantom. Like, if you beat a Phantom race car in a racing game, you get a free game. Man, I'm proud of that patent. But that's cool. You could do that You know, you could do that now. You wouldn't have to pay. You could violate all those patents and it's prior art. I think it's 20 years it's expired. They can't prosecute you. Like force feedback steering, we were getting royalties on force feedback steering in the late 90s. People couldn't believe it. Because hard driving and race driving, you know, get patents on force feedback steering. So everybody that made a force feedback steering wheel had to pay patent royalties to Atari. Yeah, a mental note, don't ever get a blueberry to a dog if you got white couch, you know. That's the little thing I learned right now, right here. Dogs really don't like blueberries either. I got some blueberry Eggos. I got blueberry Eggos at the store yesterday, and I don't know, it might be time to eat, but I don't know how this. Let me see if there's any comments coming in. Let's switch to sitting down here. See how that goes. All right, I don't even know. I'm kind of happy because I've been waiting to do my YouTubes and talk about, you know, what's going on with me. And, you know, I want to share what's going on in my life in general. And I got to be careful not to talk about any kind of inappropriate things. And I get excited. But staying on the rails and being interesting, sometimes they're mutually exclusive. People want to see you kind of fall off the rails sometimes. And I do. Sometimes I've succumbed to the desire to attract people, to listen, and misbehave to get people interested, you know? That happens. So, you know, I'm trying to just, you know what? Let me just lay it down. I'm trying to do a show. At the end of the day, this is about me and whatever it is I'm trying to learn. So if I'm trying to learn something, I want to teach it to you. And otherwise, this is about me, really. And in many ways, it's for myself as much or more than anybody else, because I've tried to take care of all my financial needs as much as I could, you know, and I've been trying to do that at least for the last 12 years, you know. I've made plenty of money. I shouldn't need to work again. Multiple times I've done that. But holding on to your money is the hard part. So it's kind of like, you could imagine if you're gambling and you could remember, like, wow, at one point I had 4 times what I started with, but then I couldn't stop gambling and I let it all go. So gambling is what's called a negative expectation game. You play long enough, you know you're going to lose it all with certainty. So at some point you got to stop if you want to win. There's no other way. But life isn't really like that. You don't have to stop and you can keep winning. But not everybody gets that honor of being able to keep doing what they're doing and to continue and be able to win. Plenty of people, they only come into a lot of money because they won a lottery. You know, maybe they won a lottery ticket, right? Maybe they won a lottery ticket. For that person, it's going to be a little bit tougher to stay in the game without having to go back to work, because they've got unrealistic expectations of what it means to come into $1 million, you know? Or maybe they only won $700,000 after taxes, right? How are you going to make good use of that $700,000 when everybody in the media is saying you done won over $1 million? Because they're thinking if you won $1 million, you must owe them at least 100,000 as good of friends as you are. You know, people are like that. My dog is like this, man. He's wanting some attention, man. What's up, big boy? What's up? You want some attention? You want attention? Yeah, that's been another thing with live streaming, is the dog and integrating what's going on with the dog, because the dog's more important than the live streaming. Let me just say that right off the bat. But making sure this dog is happy, pretty important to me. How you doing, big boy? Yeah? You want to go in the backyard? What do you want to do? Oh, all right. I kind of anthropomorphized this guy And so I kind of try to talk to him like a regular person. And he has been doing some vocalizations and little twitches or whatever. I don't know if he's really talking to me or not, but I pretend that he does and I try to have conversations with him. And it's fun, honestly. I read about that before I got him. I read about how you could do that. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're an idiot. So I said, I'm in. What? All right. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thanks, everybody, for your time, and appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm going to be trying to do these at sunrise. That's just when it seems like the right time. Sunrise, my time. Other people are already up on the East Coast. You know, it's morning time. And I'm more likely to be sober. like I haven't had any caffeine yet. Once I get an energy drink in me, who knows how hyped up I might be, you know. So anyways, we'll talk to you guys